The frozen lands of the Klondike have never shown mercy to anyone. They reward strength, punish weakness, and expose ambition in its rawest form. For decades, one name stood above all others in this brutal world of ice and iron: Tony Beets. A man forged by hardship, known for his fearless mining style and unbreakable will, Tony Beets became more than a miner. He became a legend. Long before television fame, Tony Beets built his reputation the hard way. Through tamarack gold resources, he carved an empire out of frozen ground, turning impossible terrain into profit. His aggressive methods drew criticism, but his results silenced doubters. When the reality series Gold Rush premiered in 2011, Tony Beets didn't need the spotlight. The show needed him. His experience, confidence, and authenticity quickly made him one of the most dominant figures on the series. Season after season of Gold Rush, Tony Beets battled equipment failures, raging fires, mechanical disasters, and brutal weather conditions. While others struggled, he adapted. His dredges became symbols of power, and his name became synonymous with success. Fans admired his grit, even when his methods sparked controversy. Too many. Tony Beets was the king of the Klondike. Then everything changed. One morning, silence fell over his operation. Machines stood frozen. Crews waited without direction. Wrapped around his massive dredger was a sight no miner ever wants to see: government red tape. Orders had been issued. Operations were halted. No warning, no negotiation. Just a sudden shutdown that sent shockwaves across Dawson City and beyond. Rumors spread quickly. Some claimed environmental violations. Others whispered politics and selective enforcement. Headlines fueled speculation while Tony Beets struggled to respond. As he faced regulators and media pressure, another miner was quietly making moves: Parker Schnabel. Once a rival and occasional ally on Gold Rush, Parker Schnabel saw opportunity where others saw chaos. While Tony Beets fought to defend his name, Parker Schnabel worked behind the scenes. Maps were drawn, paperwork filed, permits secured. Every detail was handled with precision. By the time the truth became clear, it was already too late. In the dead of night, trucks rolled in. Bulldozers lit up the darkness. Wash plants roared back to life, but not under Tony Beets' control. By morning, Parker Schnabel and his company, Klondike North Ventures, were operating ground that once belonged to the king of the Klondike. From a distant ridge, Tony Beets watched another man work his land. The betrayal cut deeper than any fine or citation. This wasn't just about gold. It was about legacy. Cameras later captured Tony Beets unleashing his fury, accusing authorities of hypocrisy and unfair treatment. His words spread across the internet, dividing fans. Some praised his defiance, others condemned his recklessness. But while opinions clashed online, the takeover continued. Even Monica Beets witnessed the devastation firsthand. Standing beside her husband, she saw decades of hard work slipping away. The ground that once symbolized victory now represented loss. For the first time, the Beets family was powerless, yet Tony Beets was not ready to surrender. Inside his trailer, now turned into a command center, he began analyzing everything: geological records, ownership clauses, equipment logs, and contracts. Surrounded by family and old allies, he searched for a weakness. Then suddenly, clarity struck. "They don't know what's coming," he said quietly. Old mining partners answered his calls. Information flowed. Movements were tracked. Soon, strange things began happening at Parker Schnabel's site. Sensors triggered without cause. Tracks appeared where no trucks had passed. Then came the drone, silently hovering over the wash plant, gathering intelligence. It wasn't theirs. Parker Schnabel knew immediately this was no accident. This was retaliation. Rumors erupted across the mining world and flooded social media. Was Tony Beets still operating behind the scenes? Was Parker Schnabel exploiting the shutdown? Fans of Gold Rush demanded answers, reviving old footage that reminded the world how Tony Beets built his empire from nothing. Public sentiment began to shift, sensing danger. Parker Schnabel struck back, not with machines, but with narrative control. Selective footage surfaced. Bloggers pushed damaging stories. Tony Beets was painted as reckless and outdated. Years of respect began to erode in a matter of weeks. This wasn't just the end of a season. It was the pause before the next chapter. Tony Beets may have lost the ground, but he didn't lose the fire that built his legacy. In the Klondike, comebacks are carved from ice and patience. Legends don't fade, they regroup. Thanks for watching. The story isn't over yet.